Okay, y'all, if you're new to gardening, or let's just say 2026 is going to be maybe your first year, your second year, and you're looking to grow something that you're not normally used to growing, or maybe you just want to grow something different. I've gone through the 2026 Baker Creek seed catalog. I've picked out 5 plants that I think you should totally pay attention to, think about ordering. We're gonna go through them, and I might even have a bonus one. So if you're interested in what this guy thinks about this catalog and some of the amazing vegetables that are available and flowers that are available in here, sit back, relax, grab your coffee. Let's have some fun, y'all. Okay, over the years, it's no secret that I have grown some crazy vegetables out there. I'm going to show some of them while I'm speaking right here. And all of those vegetables, or all these vegetables I'm about to show you, have come from Baker Creek, come from this company, Baker Creek. And I've got the idea of these vegetables from their seed catalog. Now, let me say right off the bat, y'all, I am not affiliated with Baker Creek. I get nothing from them, other than the fact it's a company that I fully believe in because their germination rate on their seeds are amazing. The varieties of seeds that they have are amazing. And it's just fun to have a company that if you have an issue, you can reach out to them, and their customer service is top notch. They'll get right on it for you, work with you, and take care of you. Plus, they send free seeds whenever you order seeds from them. I mean, how cool is that, right? So, let's just start right here at the cover. Now, if y'all followed my channel last year, these sunflowers should be kind of familiar, right? As I'm showing right here. How cool is that? The sunflower that I showed a lot last year is actually on the cover this year. That's really cool. Okay, now like I said a few minutes ago, I've gone through the book. I've probably spent a couple hours already going through the pages. Kind of a fast go through. I haven't deep dived into the book yet and read all the stories and everything. And that's the one thing that I love about this book, the big book, 500 plus page book, is there's so much detail. There's so many stories. There's so many just histories of different plants and how they got the seeds, where the seeds came from, how old the seeds are, all that. So if you're a history nerd like I am, and then also a seed geek like I am, really think about getting the whole seed catalog. Okay, I'm not going to say anything else about the catalog. In no particular order, I really want to highlight a few of these amazing plants that they have available. And some of these I've actually grown. So let's just start right off the bat with the 1,500-year-old cave bean. Now, why am I highlighting this specific plant or this bean? Well, one, because of the history behind it. They found this bean in a cave in New Mexico. It was in a pottery of some kind, sealed pottery. When they broke it open, there were these beans, these seeds. When they planted them, then they carbon dated them. The beans go back about 1,500 years. How crazy is that? They were lost to everybody for an incredibly long time, and then they just happened to find them in a sealed pottery in some cave in New Mexico. I mean, yo, so cool. Now, besides the history fact, why this bean? Why am I highlighting this bean? Well, one, I've grown it. I grew it last year, and here they are right here. Just a beautiful bean. Beautiful coloration. You can use these as kidney beans in stews. That's what I've used them as. And they're just a great bean. They grew really well in my climate, zone 9B. They were super prolific, honestly, at the beginning of the year. And grew great. Make sure you have them going up a trellis. And if you're looking for a bean that has a little bit of a story to it, y'all, the 1,500-year-old cave bean on page 56 of the 2026 seed catalog. Give it a shot. If you like beans and you want to have a versatile bean that you can use for many things, try that one out. Plus, it's just a pretty bean. So, that's one. Now, let's move on to something I've never grown. When I saw it in the book, I was like, you know what? I'm totally going to give that a shot. And that is on page 175. I don't know how to pronounce this correctly, so I'm going to show it right here. Gagon. It's a big cucumber, y'all. And what really drew my attention, one, is the size of this cucumber. Two, how unique it looks. And three, that it thrives in the cool northern climates. So for y'all up there in the north that are looking for maybe something different that you can grow early next year, this might be a cucumber you need to look at. Again, I've never grown it, but I definitely wanted to highlight that one for y'all to go check out. I love the uniqueness of this cucumber. One thing to keep in mind when you're ordering seeds from any seed company or whatnot is the amount of seeds that are going to come in the packs. Now with Baker Creek, they give you the idea. They tell you how many seeds you're going to get per pack. So for this one, because it's so rare, you're getting 10 seeds. So you want to make doggone certain that when you plant them, you're planting them the correct way so you can get those starts going, get them outside when they're ready to rock and roll, and you get your money's worth. But if you look at the size of those cucumbers, y'all, you just need one of those cucumbers to grow, and then you're going to have all the seeds that you need for future planting. So keep that in mind when you're ordering seeds. That's what I do. When I look at the price, I'm like, man, do I want to spend that? But all you need is one fruit of whatever plant to grow, and then you have your own seeds. So keep that in mind. But definitely for a cucumber, and I love the fact that it's a northern type cucumber that will work good up there. And it also, in the same sentence, it stands up to intense heat and humidity. So here we have a multi-versatile cucumber that's both good for northern climates and for, I guess, southern climates. So this is one I will be growing for sure in 2026. Let's move on. Y'all know that I love growing eggplants. I have eggplants all the time. In fact, I have an eggplant out there that I actually need to go harvest as soon as this video is over because I forgot. But I saw this one on page 191, and I was like, man, you know what? I'm totally going to give this one a shot. It's called Giant of Barman. I'm sure, again, that there's a different pronunciation for that. But it's a very big eggplant. Okay, so there's legend of this eggplant getting up to 17 to 22 pounds from their locals' history, the local legend, folklore, so to speak. But in India, where they grow it now, and up in Missouri, where Baker Creek is, they get between 4 and 9 pound fruits. Now, I'm all for a 4 to 9 pound eggplant. I'm totally gonna give that one a shot. It's perfect for baking, roasting, which is right up the alley for me and how I like to make my eggplant. So again, Giant of Barman, page 191. You get 25 seeds with this one, so definitely like that in case there's issues. But this is one thing I'm going to do in 2026 is I'm only going to start growing certain amounts of different vegetables. What I've done for the past 5 years, I guess, is I try to grow and grow and grow as many different types of things and varieties and all that. But in 2026, I think I want to start narrowing down a little bit of what I put in the garden because I have a small garden. I have a very small suburban backyard garden, and I don't have a lot of space. So that's what I'm going to be focusing on in 2026, and this is one of the eggplants that I'm going to grow. And y'all know I can grow some eggplants, so I'm excited for that one. Now, let's move on to the next two things are plants that I have grown very well in my backyard, which I can actually show on the video here. If I can find the page, Chad. Okay. Y'all know I love me some peas, right? Love peas. This is the first year I have not grown the King Tut pea. I'm going to show you all the picture right here. The hull is purple. You get a lot of peas per pod, 5 to 7 usually, right in that range. And they grow really good in the zone 9B area, 9A, 10A, in this area. They grow really, really well. In fact, usually I have a whole bunch of them already growing right now this time of year. But this year I didn't grow them. I grew a bunch of other ones that I had older seeds of. But if you're looking for a pea that has an amazing backstory, at least a legend, let's put it that way, consider the King Tut purple pea. It's on page 309 in the book. And here's the history behind it, at least the legend. It's called the King Tut pea because the legend is that Howard Carter, the man who went and found King Tut's tomb back in 1922, the legend is that there were seeds in there that the Egyptians planted with the pharaoh so he could eat in the afterlife. Some of those seeds were these peas, according to legend. Is that true? I don't know. I mean, who really knows, right? The cool thing about it, though, is that this pea is actually linked to the Carter family. That there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. It goes all the way back to the 1920s in England and all that. So for me, what I have come to really love about gardening, another aspect of gardening that I love, are the history behind the seeds, behind the plants, behind the stories, behind the legends, behind folklore, all that. I think it's cool. I think it's amazing that today in 2025, 2026, you can grow something that's 200-300 years old, 1,500 years old, or older today in our soils, in your backyard, in your gardens. To me, that's amazing. It blows my mind. I'm a nerd that way, and it is what it is. So if you're looking for a very good pea that has a little bit of a backstory and can add a different color palette to your garden, consider the King Tut purple pea. Now again, the peas are not purple. The shells are. I don't want y'all to be like, man, this guy said it'd be purple peas. No. The final thing I want to cover, if you are, well, if I can find it. Okay. If you are a sunflower lover, last year was the first year that this year, 2025, was the first year I really grew sunflowers. Had a whole bunch. I think I had 5 or 6 different types of sunflowers in the 2 corners of my garden. The chocolate cherry sunflower, y'all, page 440, is just a gorgeous, gorgeous sunflower. Now, I showed you on the cover, but look at this sunflower. And then these are the ones that I grew here in my backyard this year. They are gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. So if you were thinking of growing sunflowers and you wanted something a little bit different than just the regular yellows, consider the chocolate cherry sunflower for your garden for 2026. Your neighbor's going to be like, hey, what is that? That is gorgeous. And then there you go. You start talking, find new seed friends, maybe someone who's like, man, I kind of want to maybe start gardening. Maybe just a flower garden. And you can start building your own local community off of plants like this, especially sunflowers like this, that would draw people in to want to chat with you and be like, man, what is that? So, chocolate cherry, fantastic, fantastic, gorgeous sunflower, y'all. I'm like, not joking. Okay, we're almost done. Bonus. I showed you all the 5 plants that I really recommend pretty much anyone to garden, to grow this year. Y'all know I'm a big basil person. I've got basil everywhere in the backyard for multiple reasons. To cook with, I love the smell, the pollinators. It's probably the biggest reason. The pollinators, basil flowers bring in so many pollinators. And then obviously planting your basil around your tomatoes to help keep the hawkmoth away so you don't get tomato hornworms. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, I'm going to put a link to the video, one of the videos that I've done on this topic, companion planting basil with tomatoes. Trust me, if you're a new gardener, beginner gardener, watch that video if you plan on planting tomatoes after you finish this video. The bonus is a type of basil that I just saw for the first time in the Baker Creek catalog. Again, I'm not sure I'm going to pronounce this correctly, but it's called African Nunum. Nunum? Somewhere in there. Again, if I butchered it, I'm sorry, y'all. Why am I showing this specific basil? Well, because it has an amazing oregano flavor along with a basil flavor. So that's kind of cool right there. It's from Ghana. You can use this for soups, pastas, vinegars, jellies, pestos, you name it. It also has a lot of health properties in this specific basil. So something like this that you can use for multiple reasons, I definitely wanted to highlight because I will be growing this. I am going to absolutely give this a shot this year in one specific part of the garden so I can focus on, hey, this is this type of basil. Because y'all, I haven't had to plant basil for 3 years. Basil seeds itself and always comes back. And basil also is an incredibly easy plant to transplant around your garden. And I have so much basil out there, it's crazy. I love it, but I have a lot. But I'm gonna have even more with this basil in your garden for 2026. All right, everyone, so that's the video. Those are the top things I really wanted to focus on to kind of give you all an idea of, hey, this, try growing these different plants. And to be honest, I have a lot more plants that I am focusing on. And this was just right off the bat. I haven't even, like I said, done a real deep dive into the book yet. But if you haven't ordered one, I highly suggest you order one of these seed catalogs. I think they're $10. There might be a little bit more, I'm not sure, but they're so worth it. Especially if you are a seed nerd like I am, you got to get the Baker Creek whole seed catalog because it's just so much fun to read, and they have such a variety. You can't go wrong with Baker Creek. So on that note, I'm gonna let everybody go. Hope you all got something out of this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, do me the 4 favors: share, like, comment, and subscribe to this channel if you've not done so already. And you all take care. May God continue to bless each and every one of you. And I'll talk to you all again real soon. Bye. Happy seed hunting.